Welcome to the Cold Brew Podcast from the 6th of February. I'm here in Studio 2 just editing this, making it all nice for the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Here is Cold Brew. It's now 8 o'clock. Welcome to Cold Brew. This is Series 2, Episode 3. Did have a recipe for you, but my computer crashed while I was editing it, so don't have that for you. I went away this weekend, so I thought, you know what, I won't have time to prepare anything for my show because I went away, but then I remembered, actually, everything I do is preparation for the show because I can just tell you about it. You like that? So I went away this weekend. I will tell you about that. Did a few other things this week, not too much. It was quite a busy week, but mostly because of coursework. So I'll go into that later. It wasn't a heartbreak, and it also wasn't like the Pitbull version either. It was just a really nice, quiet hotel. We didn't have room service. Because, although I think there was only one person working there, to be honest. We just saw them in the bar, the breakfast room, the reception. I thought they were the only person that worked there. Bit weird, but it was nice. It was a really nice room. They had a massive TV, and I was like, it was not expensive. For the size of the TV, I was like, this is nice. I could stay here. Well, I did stay there. For 2 nights actually, and I just watched a lot of TV. They had the little, the tea and coffee thing in the room, and put in when you put 6 milk things in your coffee because you want a latte. They do not provide for lattes, so I put to be fair, I did put 2 sachets of coffee in, so then I had to put 6 sachets of milk in, but overall was quite nice. However, because it's never perfect, the shower was freezing, and I don't know why. Because why would you have a cold shower in a hotel? Something must have been wrong that time we went. And my parents were staying a few rooms up the corridor, and they said they have a warm shower. So I was like, well, why isn't mine like that? They did have nice complimentary shower stuff. Although one of the on the towels, it had this little sign, the one where you leave it on the floor if you want to give it back to them, I think. And then if you want to use it, you put it on, and there's one somewhere, something. And then it had all these it said I think conserve to preserve. And then right underneath it had another rhyme that meant the same thing. So they've used 4 words that mean the same thing and then just put them in rhymes. I thought that was really clever of them, but I also really wanted to write "Save as you bathe" underneath. But I was like, I don't think that sign is complimentary. So I don't think they would have been pleased. Or I don't think that one person there would have been pleased if I'd written, I should have done it for the meme. Anyway. That was me in this little hotel room, so I visited Cheltenham. I'd never been there before. There was this strange procession with drums. It was 5 people playing the drums. Probably it must have been at least 1,000 people in the street. There was a parade for 5 people playing drums, and I was like, "What is going on here? This is not what I expected from Cheltenham." This whole thing, and it was close to a stampede. Just loads of people going down the street following these 5 people, but they're not following, but going in front of them as well. Just a huge crowd, and I was like, what is this? So that was my experience of Cheltenham. I think then we went Wetherspoons, so we went Spoons in Cheltenham as well. That was quite nice, but it was so busy. We asked for butter, and 10 minutes later they came with butter, but then it was melted, so I said, "Excuse me, could we have some more butter, please?" And they were like, "Yeah, we'll get some." And they just didn't. And you can see the waiter that said that just doing other things, and you're like, okay, he's forgotten. How important is this? We just use barbecue sauce instead of butter because this is what you do when you're you got to improvise. If you learn anything by this show, it's you've got to improvise. Anyways, that was my visit to Cheltenham. Oh, also I went to Gloucester, because Cheltenham and Gloucester, they're sort of the same region. So I went to Gloucester as well. That was a nice place. They had massive shopping centre that I went to use the loo, and nobody noticed. They don't, because you can do that and nobody will know. So shopping centres, use the loo, that you're good. And that was brand new. I think it was Gloucester Quay. There was a Wetherspoons there as well. And so we were doing, looking around the high street. Oh, went to the cathedral. That was nice in there, looking at the cathedral. I almost said the cathedrality of it all. That was just a thought I had. So yeah, Gloucester, lovely place. Would go again because the shops were amazing, and they were mainly charity shops, but they were so good. There, had a quick look around. My sister wanted to go into WH Smith, and I was like, you really want to go in there? Because it's a chain, and it's the same everywhere. And I've never seen a WH Smith change. But we went in, and we came out again. And then we went to the charity shop, and I spent 20 minutes in there looking at stuff. So, because they're always different. That is good. That's what I like. So, yes, the other good thing about going away was the breakfast at the hotel. They had everything. As you'd expect. I mean, the Continental was a little bit... there wasn't a lot there, let me say. There was a plate with like 3 slices of ham, and then another plate on the stand above it with like 4 slices of cheese. And you were like, am I supposed to take from this plate or just like take the plate? Because they'd split... Instead of having a range of continental breakfast items, they'd just split a continental breakfast between plates. And I was like... But to be fair, I was just going to have the old fry-up anyway. So, I mean, it didn't really bother me. Oh, the cranberry juice, though. They had that good. They had good cranberry juice. So, yes, overall, I'd give this hotel lots of points. If we're rating hotels by points anyway. So, what else is there to say? Nice holiday. Went to see... Gloucester, Cheltenham, nice hotel, cold shower, big TV, nice breakfast. And when I got back, one of my housemates didn't realise they were home alone. Even though I'd locked my door, they said they heard noises coming from it. Spooky. Yeah, my sister thinks my house is haunted anyway. She hates it there. But yeah, that was spooky, weird, because they were like, I didn't know I was home alone. I thought you were in. I heard noises in your room. Because I was not there. I was in a hotel. That thought made me go on to, well, it wasn't actually a hotel, it was kind of a bed and breakfast, because that's what we paid for. You know, you get room only, bed and breakfast, and then you can have like all your other things. Actually, no, because it's a hotel anyway. Oh, I don't know. It called itself a hotel, but we paid for the bed and breakfast fee because it was room and breakfast. But they had a bar 24/7, 24-hour bar. So I don't know if that changes things. Now, I've been thinking about, where do people hear this show? This is Insanity Radio 103.2 FM, and I'm John, and I'm presenting Cold Brew, and I thought, where do people hear this show? And one place I know a lot of people hear this is the SU shop. And there's one thing I go in there to buy. I buy a lot of things. Don't get me wrong, I do buy a range of items. But there's one thing that I find myself always going there for. So let's think about what that is. Well, chocolate, because chocolate is the main thing that I buy from SU shop all the time. I go in. I think I just heard. Oh, I will go in. I'll get a Yorkie, or I'll get a cream egg or something. And anyway, that song, Chocolate, 1975. Like I was saying, cream eggs, 2013. 7 cream egg cycles ago, because they, come out every year, except for a couple of months when they're not available. I don't know how they work, but I love them. And I went into SU shop, and there were these all these different types of egg, and I was like, you know what, let's rank them. So I was up in the study rooms with my friends, and we were all sitting down, and I was like, I'm just gonna go shop, I'll get myself some food. And they were like, okay. They thought I was going to come back with a sandwich or something else that I usually buy. And I came back with 4 cream eggs. 4 eggs, I mean. And I mean, this was a week ago, so I don't remember every detail, but I remember which ones I liked. And the first one was, okay, so let's start the ranking. Okay, we're going to do this. In at number 5, that's what they say, was either Oreos or was it Hershey? I don't remember. It was Oreo or Hershey. And I was like, that's interesting. Too sweet. I was like, I couldn't. I was eating this egg, and I was like, there's a lot going on here. And I think one of them had white chocolate. I was like, this is a bit much for me. So that was number 5. Number 4, this is going up the ranking, so a bit better. I can't remember if I had this one there, but I know it exists. The caramel egg, which was okay. Also really sweet. I mean, I have a sweet tooth, but chocolate, if it's sweeter than chocolate, I'm like, not too much of a fan of. Because I also like dark chocolate and bitter flavors as well. But these are really, really sweet flavors. White chocolate is too sweet for me, I find. Tend to avoid stuff with that in. But caramel, also really, really sweet. And I don't like the flavor of caramel that much. I haven't told many people that, but I don't. Because people get weird when I say I don't like things. Oh, you had it before. Yes, I know I had it once before, but yeah. Doesn't mean I like it. Number 3, and this surprised me because I didn't think I was going to like this much, but it was the Reese's egg. The Reese's egg was amazing. It's just the normal eggshell, the regular eggshell with a, it had, what was it inside? Peanut butter. How could I forget? The peanut butter egg. That was delicious. I'm a fan of peanut butter. And, what did I used to have all the time? Toast with peanut butter and banana. That was good. That was a good time in my life. Back probably first year of sixth form, I was doing that a couple of years ago. I should do that again. I'm going to get my hands on some peanut butter next time I'm into shops. Number 2. This one's good. Number 2. The Cadbury's cream egg. So you thought that was going to come out number 1, didn't you? No, it's number 2. No, because I think there's a better one. But yeah, Cadbury's cream egg. Let's review that. Well, what I love about it is it actually looks like an egg inside. They've got the whole white, and I don't know if you've never opened up a cream egg before. I'll just tell you what's inside it. It's sort of some white, it's like icing basically, and then some yellow icing to make it look like the yolk, and then it makes a whole egg. I loved them. I've always loved them. And they're just, yes, was such an iconic piece of confectionery, I'd say, in my opinion. And that's why they're all the way up at number 2. And I'll reveal number 1 right after this message. What am I doing for number 1 then? I know you've been waiting. What suspense have I left you in? Such suspense. Number 1 on my egg ranking. Did you guess it? No, you didn't, because it's actually like every single ranking video ever doesn't count. It's mini eggs. Didn't see that coming, did you? Mini eggs are my favourite type of egg. Here's why. The shell is different and they're chocolate inside, whereas all the others are like something chocolate on the outside, something else on the inside. These ones have actually changed that around, and they've gone for chocolate on the inside and sort of a sugar coating on the outside. They're basically like large Smarties. If you've never seen mini eggs before, they're like large Smarties. Imagine a Smartie in an egg shape, and then you sort of made it matte on the outside, so a non-shiny egg-shaped Smartie. And then there's sort of pastel colours, and you can buy them in little tubes or little bags. If you want to save the plastic, or if you want to not use the plastic in the first place, you can get the tubes of them, which is what I got the other week. And I love mini eggs so much. That's my favourite thing about my favourite type of egg. See? Ranking videos always do that as well. They're always like, oh, this one doesn't count. This number, this doesn't really count, but it's make the list anyway. Well, that's my number 1. Doesn't really count, but made the list anyway. because I like them. Anyway, chocolate is, to me, really helps me. That's not a sentence. Chocolate really helps me relieve stress. Be it milk chocolate, dark chocolate. You know, you can get all the way up the percentages of dark chocolate, which I adore that. And then there's the flavoured chocolates as well. Love them all. But Yorkie is my go-to bar. My go-to bar is Yorkie. So, am I going to talk about Yorkie again? No, because I do that enough on this show. You're listening to Cold Brew on Insanity Radio 103.2 FM. I'm John. I've actually changed the chair around. I've actually swiveled the chair, and it's a lot more comfortable than it was before. So, we love that in the studio. What was I going to do? I was going to say something. I've completely lost my trail of thought. It is Thursday, and I'm doing my show. What do you expect? What I was going to say next was just talking about, my podcast again, really. As you know, this will become a podcast. I'm going to put it out on Sunday. That would be nice if you want to look it up. It's called the Cold Brew Podcast. You can just search that wherever you get podcasts from. You can find every show I've ever done, even the ones that went badly. And that's my podcast. I said it, didn't I? I said that's what I was doing. Now, I was today looking for some more music to play, and I thought, what happens if I look up the date? I said that weird. What happens if I look up the date, and I just put 6/2 into the Insanity Radio 103.2 FM? If I told it that, what song would it give me to play? And it gave me this amazing song, West End Girls, A17. That is I like that one. An excuse to listen to it. Although, apparently, the lyrics say Dead End World. And I thought it was Denim World. Because, beginning of the 90s, end of the 80s, denim. I thought it was East End boys and West End girls in a denim world. That made so much sense to me. It was only today, the 6th of February, timestamp, that I realised it was not denim. So a little bit disappointed about that, actually. Anyway, that's gone. That's in the past, except if you listen to my podcast. Oh, that rhymed. Oh, I'm good. Yes, just search for the Cold Brew Podcast on anywhere and it'll come up. It'll be right there for you. You can listen to any show I've ever done. I've said this. This is Series 2, Episode 3 of Cold Brew, just ending now. Thank you so much for listening yet again, unless you didn't have the choice. In which case, thank you still for not complaining too much. I'll speak to you next week.